Caveman's Corner is brought to you by Prime Investigations. If you need a licensed, bonded, or insured private investigator, make sure you call 716-553-0701. That's Prime Investigations. 33 years of law enforcement experience. The guy that runs it, Al, he's an awesome, awesome guy. He trains with me at the gym. You can't find a better person to look into your private investigation needs. Great guy. Check it out. Caveman's Corner highly recommends him. Also, like and subscribe on YouTube. Do it now. Welcome to a special edition of Caveman's Corner. I got a great guest, Patchy Mix. He called me. He's like, I want to do a podcast. So when someone like Patchy Mix wants to do a podcast, you drop everything you were doing and you get him on the podcast. That's what a good podcaster does. Patchy is 12-0, undefeated Bellator fighter. He is going to Japan. He's going to fight in Rizin against, I'm going to have a hard time pronouncing this, Yuki Matoyo. Rizin 20, he's going to be fighting in a ring, going to Japan, representing Bellator in Rizin. So it's a huge fight, a big opportunity for him. Also, the Bellator champ at his weight class is injured. He's forced to give up the belt. We have a lot of cool stuff to talk about. We're going to jump into the podcast. The pride of the 716, Bellator fighter, Patchy Mix. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. How you doing, brother?
Dude, I'm doing great. I can't believe I got you on the podcast. You're big time, and you're still coming back and representing with the old guys.
Yeah, for sure, man. I'm from the area, so I like to represent 716, Western New York, Buffalo, and Angola. So always coming back.
You are the best fighter that's come out of the area in a long time. The best fighter that's come out of Buffalo. I mean, Rashad made it to UFC championship, but he was fighting out of Michigan. You're the biggest name that's come out of Buffalo. How does it feel to be that guy?
I don't know, man. It just feels normal, you know. It doesn't feel any different than I was coming up as an amateur, I guess. It's kind of like what I do, and to do it as my hobby and my passion and also my job. So it just feels normal, I guess. I couldn't foresee all of it happening.
You are about to embark on a journey almost across the world. You're going to go to Japan and fight in Rizin. How does that feel, man?
Well, it feels good, man. You know, a little orthodox, you know, just to travel, I guess, because all my fights have been here in the U.S. So to go over to Japan and fight over there underneath their rule set and their crowd and their fans, I'm sure it'll be much different. Yeah.
Does it bother you that you're fighting in a ring instead of a cage?
No, man, it doesn't bother me. I could merge to any rule set, I guess. So it doesn't bother me, but it kind of excites me to train the new rule set and the different dynamic, you know, being in a ring instead of a cage, because the ropes versus a cage is, you know, it's much different.
I don't think it's going to stop you from getting to the back, man. It's not like you push people up against the fence and take them down on the fence. You're on people's backs, dude. I can't see it affecting you anyway except for helping you.
Yeah, a lot of people here at Jackson's have been preparing in specific ways, but a lot of the coaches have told me, and a lot of the teammates that have also fought in Japan have told me, you know, he'll probably try to roll out the ring or, you know, dive out, especially if I get good positions. So I just can't see him doing that if I'm attached to his back, you know what I mean? So that's my game plan, and just do what I've done, you know, this far in my career, all 12 fights.
It sounds pretty confident. How do you think the matchup suits you?
The matchup suits me really well. I feel we match up in different things. We're both good at the same things, pardon. So he's good at, you know, on the ground as well. So I think we match up very well there. But I think my leverage, my size, my experience, and my mindset will play, you know, the major factors in the matchup itself. In the gym, he could probably hang and stuff like that. But when we're in the competition, I feel like I said, my leverage and my size is going to be a big factor for this. You know, he's made 125, and he's a smaller guy, so I'm a big guy cutting down to 35, and I keep growing, and I'm getting bigger and stronger, and I'm the strongest I've ever been. So I feel like it's a very good matchup. Him coming up from 25 and he's, you know, going down.
Back before he went down to Jackson's, man, you look huge, and not like fat huge. You were getting jacked, dude. Your lats are huge. You're filling out in your shoulders. You're really getting some man strength now. I remember when you were a little small kid. You're not that small kid no more.
Yeah, no, I've been at work. You know, I grapple a lot. I train a lot out here, and my work's, you know, it's all come together. Like I said, I'm 3-0 on the year, so you know, each fight has just been a progression in itself, but also in my body and how much I've gotten older and grown in the last year because I've been lifting weights and more to say grappling and multiple times a day.
How much of that is being able to train multiple times a day, and how much of it is getting the good nutrition and the good weightlifting and the good coaching that you're getting on not only just MMA but conditioning your body down there at Jackson's?
It's everything put together, you know what I mean? It's the multiple times a day, but it's also the nutrition and the listening to the coaches on what you should do for, strength, cardio, what you're eating, everything. So it's a balance of everything, you have to put it all together just like you would in MMA. So, you know what I mean? It's not one thing. It's basically everything that can make you grow and make you stronger, and also the weight cut. You know what I mean? Because making the weight's an important thing as well.
Right, because you don't want to get too big. I mean, you want to be able to still cut down that weight. And it seems like you haven't had any trouble at all making 35.
No, I've had no trouble at all making 35. I actually like making 35. There's always a fight before the fight, they like to call it, in wrestling. So, getting on the scale and beating that was always a mindset thing. So to be able to do that in fighting and then to go out there and perform, I feel like I perform best at 35. But, no, man, I'm feeling out and all that, but I think I'm very disciplined when it comes to, the bantamweight category and how I make weight and what I'm cutting fight week and, not saving much for, too much for the end. I like to gradually cut weight and then have an easy cut as I go, not cut a lot, the day before like some of these other fighters.
Right. I mean, I can tell I'm friends with you on Snapchat, so I watch you post snaps of all your whole cut, and I'm watching you, man. You're still smiling at the end of the cut, so it's not like too shitty of a cut, or there wouldn't even be a Snapchat. It's just you making the weight. So I know it's really not that hard of a cut for you.
Yeah, it's not a hard cut, man. I feel like I make it well. I watch other guys struggle, even the undercard guys that are also on the cards with me. I see them in the sauna, and we all communicate, we all talk, and we all, how much they have left. And I'm never, cutting too much. I'm always one of the guys that are out of there first, and, have it under control. Because, I'm not here to lose any money, and I'm here to, remain as a professional, make weight as always, and keep moving forward. Trying to climb the ranks. It's always a bad look when you don't make weight,
Yeah, I'm not sure how much you want to talk about this on the air, but I'm watching your stand up, and it really looks like it's coming along great, man. Are you going to surprise people with your stand up coming up into this fight?
Yeah, I think I'm going to surprise people with a lot of things. Our grappling and all that. I think I could trump them there. My mindset's everything right now, and my confidence and I'm not overconfident, just confident in my game to where I'm working hard enough to keep excelling in all these categories. But I feel like I can beat him in, each and every area. But our grappling is so high level, both of ours on each power, that I think we will see some stand up here. And I think I'm going to light him up and, put the pressure on him and put him on his back foot. And like I said, me fighting in Japan here, it's his hometown. So that's going to make me feel uncomfortable. And when I feel uncomfortable and, I normally rise to the occasion, you know what I mean?
I know gym stories aren't great, and I'm a 55-pounder. I spar with Pat, man, and I'm hurting all over my body when I'm done sparring with Pat. I feel dumber, and I know his stand-up is really coming along. We just did some stand-up rounds, and, man, I'm still feeling it like weeks later.
Yeah, man, and stand-up goes to, like, Wink and Six Gun and all my guys out here. I train here, and I spar here twice a week, and then I also have multiple stand-up classes. Multiple other facets that I train, in MMA style of stand-up fighting, not just stand-up itself, traditional kickboxing or Thai, The in-betweens, the negative space, the clinches, the cage work, all that. I've yet to show that, and because I take guys down so quick, or, we when we tie up, we grapple, and, whenever there's a tie-up in an MMA fight, it tends to go to the ground, or so to say. So a lot of my fights, I get in these angles, and I don't show a lot of that in-between work, and that's, a lot of stuff I'm planning on showing is the knees from the clinch, the elbows, not in this fight, but, going forward.
Well, so far, every fight you've had in Bellator, you've been a superior grappler, so it only makes sense that you're going to be on the back. Now that it's a little bit closer and you want to make sure you establish a dominant position, I can't wait to see your stand-up.
Yeah, that's the most important part, is being well-rounded, because in this game, and, the amount of money that we're making, and, you're playing a big high roller table now, so, they're hiring guys to watch you now, and break your game down. And, now the guys, they don't want me on their back, so they're going to be ready for that. Or, kind of like Jorge Masvidal, Ben Askren in a sense.
Right.
There's the correct preparation goes for, anybody can beat anybody. So, they're looking at my game, and, it's chess, not checkers. So as they're doing that, I'm progressing my game. So I'm setting traps, They think that all I got is, takedowns and all that stuff. But, who knows? This next fight might be a knockout or a flying knee or middle. You know what I mean? There's all different ways.
If you could get a beautiful knockout, man, that would really shore up your resume, especially since the title in your division is kind of up for grabs right now. What's going on with the title?
Yeah, like the title's up for grabs. Horiguchi just vacated it. And I feel like, with a win here, man, I'm 13-0, 10 finishes. I'm going out there to put this guy away in the first round. So, let's say I do that. I'm 13-0, 10 finishes, 9 submissions, 8 of them in the first round or something, out of all my finishes. But those are credentials to fight for the title right there. And I think that me and Juan Archuleta would make a great matchup for that belt. And I know he's one of the other, high-level contenders in the division. And if not, me and him, I think that there's, a list of guys. Pettis just got signed, Rafian Stock, James Gallagher, Boyito Perez, there's all these high-level guys. So we can even do a Grand Prix for that belt. I think there's going to be super exciting news coming out, whether it's title shots for, the guys or tournaments. There's got to be something with my division coming in 2020. So I'm just kind of sidelined, really waiting,
You're kind of in a perfect spot for it. It just happened. You got a fight coming up soon. It's a big name fight. It's in another country. You shine there, man. The sky's the limit for you, right?
Yeah, I feel like I'm representing Bellator in Japan also. That's a solid for me, of course. Me being in Rizin, not fighting on Bellator, I'm changing the rules. I'm showing the promotion my loyalty. I'm trying to tell you, I'm sticking with them for a while. I'm hoping to, keep progressing, them to want me, stick around for a while. So I feel like this is the perfect time for me in my life, but at the same time, I don't know what they're going to do with the division. With my sport and with the sport we're in, politics plays a lot of, into it. So at any point they can say, Sergio Pettis, he's a UFC guy, and Boyito Perez, also a UFC guy. We want these two guys to fight for the belt. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not always the best guy. It's I think it's always the best selling guy for not just this promotion, but all promotions.
Yeah, it's whoever has the most exposure, really, and that's you just gotta get the exposure out there.
And that works for anything, any sport, and any business, and that's no knock to them. I understand that. So, but I know my time is coming. You know what I mean? Because as long as I continue to win, they can't deny me.
Right, and exactly that's what's going to happen. So I got a question. Did Bellator ask you to go over and fight in Rizin, or is this something you volunteered to do?
They told me they had something lined up at my last fight, if I came out the victor and everything worked out, if I was unscathed, like I had been in the past. So they kind of just told me that there was an opportunity, and I told them, I don't know, man, I just need to get paid. So as long as I fight again, then I get paid. So, you know what I mean? I'm trying to stay active. As long as I'm healthy, I don't mind who I fight, where it is, you know what I mean, what country it's in. As long as there's money on the line and I'm healthy, why not compete? And I'll compete against the best in the world over and over and over again, every weekend if I could,
Yeah, I love that, man. And I love the grit that you have. I just read a great book. It's called Grit by Angela Duckworth. And they talk about it's not always about who has the most talents, who's willing to work the hardest. You are the most talented guy I've ever seen that works hard, just like someone that doesn't have talent. You are one of the most talented guys, and you have the grit of a guy with no talent at all. And that's going to take you really far in life.
Yeah, one second. My roommate's knocking on my door.
No problem.
Sorry, man. My roommate, Christian Edwards, he's also a Bellator fighter. He stays with me. He just got done working. He's working with John Jones at this camp right now, leading up to his next fight. So
hell yeah.
He's one of his main training partners, and he's a big star at Bellator right now. 2 first-round finishes as well. So that's the company I surround myself with out here. So, it's always good being here.
For real. And that was the next question I was going to ask. Having that super high level of competition around you with that level of grit, how much have you improved over the last, I don't know, I'd say since you got into Bellator over the last year or so?
Yeah, that's the big thing. You know what I mean? Being here and being around these guys with everything, and not just them, it's the coaching. And if you watch our sessions, you know, you'll always see a coach sitting right next to our session, just studying and watching. And it's all the small movements that you really you can take the small coaching, you know, the movements that what we're making, they can coach that, you know. So
Right.
if it's like you're putting your hand here, you're doing wrist control one way instead of the other way. It's all the small shit, man, at this level. It's not the high, you know what I mean? It's not like learning how to jab cross at this point, you know what I mean? It's
Right.
the in-betweens of everything. It's the negative space and grappling, and it's, the, you know, the MMA style of work. And Greg Jackson had such a great time. My other coach, Harry, Wing, Six Gun, I have such a great coaching staff. So having them around me, watching me do what I love to do and express myself, and that's martial arts, you know, sparring. And when they watch that, you know, they can tell me what the adjustments I need to make. I don't necessarily think about the adjustments, you know what I mean?
Right.
Think about what I do. I just express myself on the flow that I've learned, you know. What's movements, you know, the jab, cross, high kick, knee, or takedowns. I react to what's given to me, you know, off my reactions that I've learned, and I have many reactions, you know.
When you guys are doing a camp and you have a opponent, you know, you already know who you're going to fight, you're a few weeks out, are you doing all specific stuff for this opponent, or are you just improving your skill set at what you're good at right now?
It's kind of both, man. It's what Jackson calls it's like my personal growth plan, and then my we have like a fight plan. So, you know, there's things that I work that they go in both categories. Like if I work a technique that one day, it might be part of my personal growth plan, but it also might be specific for this guy. You know what I mean? There's just might be shit I need to still learn about the game that it's still part of my personal growth. You know what I mean? He separates them, Jackson would, in a sense. So
Right.
I'm still training for this guy, but I'm also, aside from that, like half of our session would be me training specifically for the guy, but then the other half would be me training to get Pat the best Pat he can be. You know what I mean? Upgrading my skills, my software, my technique,
Right.
or learning new ones.
How much time would you say you spend grappling as opposed to striking, as opposed to putting it all together?
I put them all together. I think it's a third of each. I probably spend a third of my time striking, a third of my time grappling, and then a third of my time doing all of them together in MMA. You know?
Right.
They're probably broken up in a third. There's not one I do more. My days are split, so like Tuesday, Thursday, I'll grapple hard at night. But Tuesday, Thursday, I'll spar hard in the morning. But I won't, you know what I mean? There's a split though. You know, I won't grapple so much in those sparring sessions, I guess, because I'm working on MMA techniques. I'm striking on the ground. I'm ground and pounding more than just strictly jiu-jitsu is what I mean.
Right. I got what you're saying.
Sequences, but it's like an MMA sequence. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got what you're saying. I'm picking it up.
Yeah, Jackson split it up very well, you know, on their schedule as opposed to, you know, on their coaching and how they line their days up. You know, they make sure we do it all so we're well-rounded in each category.
How much hard sparring are you doing? Like heavy striking sparring?
We spar hard on Tuesdays, but like we have other days where, you know, Thursday would be smaller gloves and we're sparring, but I feel like my partners and my techniques and those things keep me safe. I don't really spar too hard. The level gets picked up. Normally I'm in favor, or I'm the better man if I'm picking it up and exchanging, typically I want to be the better guy in the exchanges, you know what I mean? So I'm not gonna, if I'm losing exchanges, I'm not gonna continue to, you know what I mean, keep just banging it out.
Right.
I'll try to use tactics, but if I'm winning exchanges, of course, I mean, those are the hard spars, but I'm normally in control of those things. I never really spar hard if I'm not in control of my body and, you know, my opponent that I'm going with at some stage, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're saying there. I guess I was just trying to figure out how much damage you're taking. So, like, when you're sparring hard and we're saying hard sparring, are you guys really trying to, like, knock each other out, or are you still under control?
We're still under control. We train with our partners differently than we fight out here.
Right.
Of course, man. We're definitely not trying to knock each other out. It's just a different level, you know what I mean? We take care of each other because we know that we're all trying to upgrade together. But at the same level, we do train hard and we hit hard, you know what I mean? unless you go down from one shot, maybe like a flash knockout, then that's one thing. But if I hit a guy good, man, I'm gonna ease off. You know what I mean? Before I
Right.
go try to break him down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I guess that's what I was saying. I was wondering how much like killer instinct there is. If you hurt someone, you're trying to finish
Yeah,
them, or you let them
no.
recover.
No, man, you don't do that. We don't teach the younger guys or the guys that are coming up that are amateurs or the mid-level pro guys that are also trying to make their name here at the gym. We don't teach them to do that either. We try to train with control, and like I said, there's always coaches around. So there being coaches around, they have, they have authority over everything, and they watch pretty good. I think.
Yeah, I know you're too smart to do that stuff, but I was just trying to see like what the big level camps do, because there's that real debate on whether you need that killer mentality or you need to get better mentality when you're sparring really hard.
No, it's not just it's the killer mentality, but also the better mentality at the same time. You need to have killer mentality with your work ethic, but working hard and upgrading your skills and stuff like that. But sparring, man, you can still do those techniques without trying to kill your partner. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's
And
when you get real good. You know what I mean?
yeah, and I like to have you say this because no one cares what I really say. I'm just some nobody from Buffalo, but like you're making it, and when you say the same thing, man, that's like good for these guys to hear. So not in there beating each other's brains out all the time.
Yeah, man, it's all about tactics. Big level gyms are no different from the small level gyms, except that we have some of the best fighters, and we all come here because we know iron sharpens iron. But we also come here for the coaching and the tactics that we take from it, and the experiences we learn on the mat. You know what I mean? You can only learn them on the mat. So you might spar hard for 2 times a week, 3 times a week at these other gyms for 3 to 4 years because that's all you know. You know what I mean?
Right.
But if you never change those tactics, you'll never get over a certain level. And the level I'm talking about, I've exceeded. You know what I mean? I'm talking about a professional level that can also compete with professional fighters that are in the top 100th of the world. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's a certain thing you have to do, and that's focusing on your technique, your craft, and just like you would in wrestling as a kid, you have to do it in this sport. You know what I mean? It's not built overnight, and it's not going to be built on your free time. It's going to be built with coaching. It's going to be built with people that are around you that know what they're talking about, that really know what they're talking about, that have already built, hundreds of fighters. And it's just going to be like a program that you learn as a kid. You know what I mean? We've all went through wrestling programs and similar to that.
Yeah, definitely. And it's not
So,
about like making it to the pros. It's about being an elite pro. I mean,
yeah,
that's
yeah, it's not
that's where
even
the goal
about
should be.
being an elite pro. It's about being a seasoned pro that competes often and,
Right.
and takes advantage of the time that we have as pros. You know what I mean? I know one of my great teammates, her name's Celine Haga. Her record's like 11-16, but Celine's one of the best people in the gym. She has 27 professional fights. She had a rough start to her career, but now she's catching up and doing great, and she's always in class and always bettering herself, but she's always competing against the best people. You know what I mean? That's why her record's like that. She's staying active. She's not taking fights that are, low-level fights that she can just win. She's always trying to progress her career. And if you're doing that, you're always going to take a step up. You know what I mean? In doing so, you have to progress. So doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, it'll get you to a ceiling, but that ceiling's not going to be too high. You know what I mean? You have to go branch out and put yourself out there, be uncomfortable, learn things, get different techniques, different mindsets. You have to change yourself. You know what I mean? In a way too.
How much do you think fighting is about matchups compared to just general skill level?
Um, there is the general skill level. I'd say is better in practice because everyone's so calm and stuff like that. There's you can make mistakes. You know what I mean? And the better guy, tends to win. But in real fighting time, I think that matchup is everything because you can take a guy that's way better than another guy, but with the nerves, the crowd, how someone's emotions react to, you know what I mean, to everything, as opposed to the other guy. That other guy can throw a hook and just land perfect, as this guy's, you know what I mean, tense, and he could get knocked out. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I don't know, man. I think that it varies. I think matchups is like everything at the higher level. I don't think so much at the lower level. I think, guys just like the mid-level pros to low-level pros. I'm not knocking them. I see really good guys that are progressing too, don't get me wrong. But for the most time, I see, it's not so much game planning and stuff like that. They kind of punch, tangle, goes to the ground. The guy with the better superior jits will win, or superior striking, wrestling defense. You know what I mean? It's always like kind of one-sided.
Right.
Matchups at the highest level is everything.
It definitely is, and it seems like you're a bad matchup for everybody right now. Striking's great, your wrestling's good. We haven't seen any real holes in your game yet.
Yeah, man. And MMA is at this point, and it's evolved to this level. So right now, I'm very good at what I do, and I'm a hard matchup for everyone. But who's to say in 2 years this game doesn't progress? And you know what I mean? There's guys that are all hard matchups for my style. You know what I mean? So it's about getting better. And I am a hard matchup, but I'm really, really just trying to progress and break it down one fight at a time. You know what I mean? Because these guys, you know, as much as they're looking at me, I'm looking at them, and just as much confidence I have, I know deep down too that I'm working defenses, and I see Yuki Matoya, and he's a hard matchup for me. You know what I mean?
Right.
For anybody, you know what I mean? Everyone's got skills at this level, you know. Everyone's at the high roller tables. That's what I'm calling it. You know what I mean? Now that I'm sitting here at the poker table, everyone's at the high roller table, and everyone can take each other's chip. You know what I mean? So up until the contenders, up until the title holders, so or whoever is competing for those titles, you know.
Right.
So it's about being smart and respecting that, and trying to improve every day, because you know, I mean, we all have the same amount of time in a day.
It seems like you're one of the few people I know that come out better in the lights. You're always on game day. You've never had a bad performance in the cage on game day. What do you attribute that to? I mean, there's a lot of young guys that want to have that. What do you do? What leads up to the fight that makes you so tough on fight night?
I think it's the pressure, man. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't handle this pressure well, of having all these people here and they're watching you, and you have to fist fight in front of them. And, you know, you can't break it down to anything else than that, you know, because it's not so much of a sporting competition at this level. Or, I mean, it is at the same time. At any point you can get that button hit, or you can get your back taken or punched, you know what I mean, or elbowed, and everything changes. It's, you know, it's not instinctual. You know what I mean? It's like, you can't put on a front, man. You know what I mean? I think that it's just, I handle the pressure well, and I'm not nervous to get hit or hurt like some of these guys. You know, they might get hit once and they start breaking. You know, I don't ever break down. You know, I find, I don't know, man, I can smile in that fire, and I've always been that way. So to break it down as like a real fighter and the pressure, man, I think that's why. It's because I'm a real fighter and I have the skills to match it. You know what I mean? And I can handle that pressure well every time I fight.
Yeah, and you're the exact same way in the training room, but it's even more focused on fight night. I mean, there's a lot of guys that, guys break in practice room, but I've never ever seen you break yet.
Yeah, man, I don't break in practice rooms. You know, that's against the code. You know what I mean? We all trained to whatever we learned as a kid. But when I learned wrestling as a kid, you know, my coach Sills and Jim Michaels and the guys that I was around, these older guys, you can never break in a wrestling room, man, unless you got hurt or something. You know what I mean?
I don't mean like break, like quit. I mean just like break, like someone breaks your momentum, or even just makes you take a step back. I've never seen that. Even when you were first learning, you're like, someone beats you, you're like, all right, I'm going to beat you right away. And you got them right next. There was just never that quit,
yeah, see,
no matter how tired you were.
I've went through struggles and stuff like that now, kind of coming up, and I still have that same gameness as you're talking about. But there are guys that at this level that have beat me here at the gym, bigger guys. And it's taken me time to get them back, you know what I mean? Weeks, days, you know, hard work, you know what I mean, to progress my game to get them back. So I know what you're saying. I'm always game, you know, and I'm always very, very, very competitive, you know what I mean, in and outside the room. So for sure, definitely, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, I guess gameness was more than breaking, because breaking like implies that you would give up. And not very many fighters that are good ever break. But some people like lose and they're just, God damn it, you know, they'll get you the next day. You're not like that.
No way, man. I'm always going to match my opponent or whoever I'm training with, or, you know, I'll always rise to that occasion and match whoever, man. I don't care who it is, and I don't care what weight it is, you know what I mean? I'm going to give them hell, especially if coaches are watching, and, you know what I mean? I don't know, man, you know what I mean? I like outside audiences. My best rounds and stuff at the gym are like when there's like random people outside the cage or people around the match, you know what I mean? I can feel their presence, and makes me feel like it's like fight ready, you know?
Yeah, when we spar and everyone's around watching it, dude, I love that. It makes me spar well too. I really like it when we get together and everyone watches.
Yeah, it's like momentum, man. You know what I mean? You can feel the momentum in the air, and it's not a generic feeling. You know, it's genuine. So it always makes some good sessions, and you know, those are my favorite training sessions. And I think that's why I like being at this gym so much. And you know, there's always people around the mat, and always people around us. So I get time to shine every single day. And like my last fight, you know, I've hit that move so many times in practice that that's not so out of the box for me, as opposed to everyone that's watching it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Now that you have a huge name behind you now, do you worry about people filming you in practice?
No, man, I don't worry about none of that. I'm just trying to worry about being Pat amongst all this stuff and the craziness that's going to happen. Because I know, you know, who's to say I go out there and have a performance like I did last time, and then, you know, I do that in Japan in front of 40,000 people at the Super Saitama, you know, arena in front of, you know, all these people, and I'm a big, you know, international star. I don't think of nothing, man. All I think about is trying to be myself and the same Pat that got me here. I've fought 4 times for the last 6 years straight. You know, that's 24 fights. You know, I'm trying to keep that streak. You know, if I want to fight 4 times for the next 4 years and be undefeated, 10 years undefeated. You know what I mean? Stuff like that in my head. I'm just
Right.
trying to be myself, and I know what got me here, man. You know what I mean? It's been hard work and it's been dedication and discipline. I'm not gonna let that other, you know, that other stuff change me, reroute me. None of that. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna not worry about people filming or people scouting or, you know, the internets or the blogs or odds. You know what I mean? None of that.
Yeah,
All I'm
definitely.
doing is worried about now winning each fight at a time. And like we said, I'm a bad matchup for anyone. So as long as I do that, before you know it, I don't even know, man. I'm 23-0 right now between my amateur and my pro. Before you know it, I could be, who knows, man, 28-0 Khabib style, 16 more fights, all these finishes, and you know, I have more money than I know what to do with my family. You know, my mom, my daughter, everybody. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to take it one fight at a time and not change along the way. You know, of course, changed for the better on my skills and all that, but my personality, you know, the money, you know, all the stuff that comes with the fame. You know what I mean? And the notoriety of doing it, man. I don't want to change from being that same, you know, average fat.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm sure the bottle from 50 Cent at your after party in Angola doesn't get in your head at all.
No, it doesn't, man. You know, to be honest, I didn't even open the bottle, and it's actually in the back of my car, and it's probably freezing because it's so cold back home. And I let my mom use my car since I've been gone, so I literally didn't even take it out. It's like collecting dust underneath the seat in the back, and my mom doesn't know what it is either. She's not going to think, oh, this is a bottle from 50 cents. So it's probably still sitting there, man. So I don't put too much thought into that, man. Maybe for the promotion aspect of it, like, you know, my next flight's here, a picture of it. But man, I don't even put too much thought into that shit, you know? I'm not in it for the fame, man. I'm in it for the bodies. I want to collect these names. I want to get these wins. I want to say I'm the best and get out the game, you know what I mean, unscathed with some money.
For sure. That's
And
a
who knows, man? I'll spread this martial arts and all the shit around the community, around the wrestlers, and maybe one day I'll have a gym and you know what I mean, and so forth, a wrestling studio or something like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you should definitely have a gym, man. You should make DVDs too. You can have the whole backpack series by Pat Mix. Telling you that'll be worth
Yeah, for sure, man.
millions.
You know what I mean? A lot of people say that, you know. A lot of people are asking me now, and the cloud's only growing, so it's a good feeling to have. People start noticing and stuff. So I just want to do more cool shit and just keep progressing my game, man. Like I said, I'm the same knee, and I've only showed like maybe 40% of what I got. You know, I think my back game's the best, man. Like
You have
they
some
don't know nothing yet.
amazing submissions. You got the Suval stretch. You got the rear naked choke on the feet. Dude, you have some amazing finishes already. When you make the DVDs about how to do all that shit, everyone's gonna buy them up, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, who'd have thought, man? You can get signed to a major promotion and have 2 back-to-back spectacular finishes. You know, it's a product of patience, hard work, just waiting your turn. Man, I waited my turn for 21 fights, pardon, and then finally got it at Madison Square Garden. I did not waste it. The second time, I got to rerun it at the Mohegan Sun local. Big ass crowd, did not waste it, and now they're sending me to Japan. I never had a passport. I had to go get a passport, a visa, all this shit. And I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to waste it. You know what I mean? There's 40,000 people in there. That's twice and a half size the time of my fight at Madison Square Garden, because there's only 16,000 people there. To have this opportunity, like you said, man, I'm not going to waste it. I'm talking highlight reel, spectacular finish, and that's what I need to do.
And when you posted that picture of the passport, I know what you've gone through in your life and how hard it is for you to travel around and how much you sacrifice to be away from your family. When you posted that picture of the passport, dude, I was so happy for you. I mean, I get super happy. I almost cry when you win. But when you post that passport, dude, it just touched me emotionally. Like, just like he's going to Japan to fight, dude. That was just awesome. That someone I know and I really care about made it that far, dude. And like I'm getting emotional about it now.
Yeah, man, and it's like you train this time and you share the mats with people, and that's the big thing of it all. You share the mats and share the mats with genuine people, and you get to feel emotions and experience some of the hard times and the good times and the bad times and sad times, everything. You know what I mean? From wins, losses to draws. Superfly just had one. You know what I mean? I've seen some of my dearest friends I've been in the corner lose. I've shared those training rooms, with you guys, and to come up proud, that's a really, really good feeling. And like you said that, and Val asked, she's one of my great friends, and she's, I know how proud she is of me. She, go to Japan and some other people, Don Lily, a lot of people that started with me from the beginning. So it's not just myself anymore. It's about doing it for everybody and staying true to myself, staying true to where I'm from, and kind of putting on, man. You know what I mean? So to have this opportunity, like I said, man, you don't waste it. You know what I mean? You train hard, you take advantage of it, and you get everything in order, and you go handle business. And if you fall short doing that, you do it in style. You know what I mean? You still represent where you're from.
For sure, man.
People that are surrounding you, and I think that's everything, man. So, definitely, like we talked, it's the first experience for all of us. It's the first experience for me. So, to have these emotions, nervousness, excitement, so much that goes into it. But in 3 weeks, like we said, I'm on a plane. They fly me to Japan. I don't know no one besides my team. They don't the same language as us, and we're fighting under different rules against their superstar in front of all their fans. So you only get these opportunities once in a life or a few times in a lifetime. So I really want to take advantage of it and just hopefully let everything come together from all the years I've been training.
Yeah, dude, you're living the dream that I've always wanted. I always want to fight Madison Square Garden and fight in Japan. That someone I know is actually doing it, dude. I'm with you, heart and soul. No matter what, I'm always behind you, man. And to see you go, you were just at FCP a couple weeks ago now, and just to watch the way you were interacting with younger fighters and how much they looked up to you. I'm glad I could get you on the podcast just so they can hear you and hear your wisdom, and how to get up there.
Yeah, man. I watched that Dylan Friends fight versus that Joel kid, Joel Burris or something. Man, those kids, I got to meet them both. Those were the main event, and I really like those kids. I follow both of them on Instagram, man. To see them so excited to have a follow from me, man. You know what I mean? And because I'm an established fighter, you know what I mean? I'm verified on these social media accounts. These kids think that's cool and shit nowadays. But man, it's like to see them smile, and these kids are young and put on for the promotion. It was awesome, and just to have the hospitality from FCP, the owners, both of them, man, they're so great, and I want to keep helping just, promote local MMA, and just, man, I don't mind, dude. I'm going to these shows. I don't want nothing to go to these shows, man, you know what I mean? I'll come out of my own pocket to pay for gas, to just show my face to younger fighters I'll still pay for a corner's license, you know what I mean, guys, and
right.
Be a normal guy, you know what I mean? So it's awesome just to, it's cool that they give you tickets to the front, and you know what I mean? You can have that, see it better, but I just want to help out promoting local MMA and these kids, man. So it was super cool to see it from a different angle, man, not being in someone's corner watching it, just being in the cage and just to see how it's coming. Everyone just looks up to you, you know what I mean? They're proud of that, so it's a really good feeling, man, especially coming from the younger generation of kids, the wrestling communities I coach at, and now I only see it normally in the wrestling communities, but now seeing it in the fight community, that was a first for me, being at that show. It was really a first for me.
Yeah, dude, you're a big name around here, and everyone loves you, and we're all going to try and do whatever we can to help you. Are you still looking for sponsors for your fight?
I'm not sure how many more sponsors I really need for the fight. I'm thinking I'm going to stick with the ones I got, but of course, I never feel too shy to reach out to me. I always talk business with everyone, and for sure I could. There's a couple spaces left, but I'm with the sponsors I have. Very loyal to them, and they've been loyal to me. So
awesome,
I'd like
man.
to continue to work with them, and it's coming up so fast. So
And hopefully we'll get you a seminar next time you're up in town too. That'd be great. When you don't have a fight and you're coming up in town. I'm sure a
Yeah,
lot of
fight
people
or
want to
no
come.
fight, man. You know what I mean? Fight or no fight, man. You know, no one's messing with my back game. Like, and I have a bunch of stuff I can show. I can teach. Harry St. Ledger, he's a black belt under Hensel Gracie. He got brown belt under John Danaher. He's one of the best jiu-jitsu guys, man. He's like my brother. You know, I roll with him daily, every single day. You know what I mean? He is teaching me, so he's my guy. So I think I learned from him. You know, so I'm never too shy to teach anyone else or run seminars or women's self-defense seminars or anything, man. I'm here to try to help out the community in any way I possibly can. So as long as I'm not outside of work and I have time, I'm not too hard to reach, man.
All right. Well, let's make sure we get one of these together. I'm sure the Abbotts would love to put one together with you. They love to bring in the big name fighter, put a seminar, and have them at their fights. So maybe I'll start poking them, get them going.
Yeah, for sure. We'll eventually make it happen, I'm sure. And over time, you know what I mean? I'm just growing right now. I'm not that big yet, so
Right.
over time it'll happen. I'll get bigger, and I'm growing right now. So
Your back game's big,
hopefully,
bro. I'm telling you right
yeah,
now.
I know, right? It's tough. A lot of people don't know in the world yet, but they'll know soon.
For sure, man. Thank you very much. I appreciate you coming on the podcast. After this fight, let's get you back on again when you're, still
Yeah, after
undefeated.
this fight, man, I'm gonna 13-0. I'm gonna make a big impression here, Japan. Who do you know that can go represent Bellator in a different promotion, wearing different gloves underneath different rule sets, and come out victorious? It wasn't Darian Caldwell, and it's gonna be Patchy Mix. So
Hopefully, we
go
see
to
one of
Japan,
those
go.
Pat Mix stops that you're famous for.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I'm going to go to Japan, take this dude out, and earn the title shot, man. 2020, I'm planning on bringing the Bellator title back to New York, man, back to Angola, back to Buffalo, back to my region. So, this is the one stop I need. I'm trying to go right through him, leave no doubt. And 2020, I want that belt. So,
All right, man.
now's my time. So, this is the first step.
Thanks for your time, Pat Mix.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you, brother.
All right, I appreciate you. I love you, man.
Love you, man. I'll see you this Thursday, brother.
All right, see you soon.
Peace, man.
Peace. Pat Mix. That was Patchy Mix. He was on Caveman's Corner. It was an awesome show. Appreciate him coming out from the Caveman Studios in Buffalo, New York. We're out of here.